In the part of the package and labeling, the trade relations between the European Union and Mexico are governed by the Agreement of Free Trade, which came firm in October 2000. In the Free Trade Agreement also provides for preferential treatments in services. The documents required by customs of Italy are, for example, the bill of lading or airwheel bill, commercial invoice or perform invoice, and package list. And another characteristic or requirements legal must be met are the merchandise has to be identified by the trade code and must keep in custom warehouse. The legal requirements demanded by the country of Italy. Also, the European Union regulation on packing is based and said by the European Union. Mm, the European Union say that the boxes has to export under specific conditions, and also the labels is in the language of the country that they will be export, and the clear information for to the importer or wholesaler all details of labeling. So in the distribution channels, we were able to see that there are some steps that all the almonds has to take in order to reach the final step. The first step are the growers, who are usually the people like the farmers and all the people who work with the almond first. Then they take the almonds to the chillers, who are the people in charge of spreading the almonds in place. And then the handlers are the ones that look for the possible buyer of the product. For example, in our case, a special agent that will look for the possible people who is willing to buy the almonds. And at last, the manufacturers, that are the ones that will take the product into the final step, which are the persons or that will buy the product in the stores. So after finding all of the information for the almonds, we had to look for possible ways to export our product. We chose two ways. The first one is a seaway, and leaving from Mexico's port to Italy's port. The time for exporting the product is around 18 days, and it has a price of $1,636 per 100 kilograms. Then the second way was through the air, meaning by plane, and it usually takes around 18 hours reaching from Mexico to Italy, and it has a price of $60 per 100 kilograms. In these ways, it usually the almonds are usually sent into containers, boxes, like we said before, and then they reach the port, and all of this price is paid by the exporters.
So when it comes to the competitors, we noticed that there isn't really a direct competition to us, because we are not aiming to get to the hands of the consumers or the final consumers. There is one big company that has control of most of the territory, which is Dona Francesca's, but we are trying to aim at bakehouses and restaurants. We are not supplying directly to the consumer. Through an agent, we try to get our almonds to the consumer, which is a very different way. In our case, it's the easiest one. So that's why we align to the basic exporter's guide by ProMexico, and it is a series of rules that we must follow in order to export to Italy. Here you can see some of the examples which we consider one of the basic or elemental for this movement, which are contain of the printing date, identification, the name, corporate name, address, and you also have to place the date of the issue. These are requirements of the documentation you need. Okay, so if we want to conclude this project, we think that we need a 2-year investment in order to start receiving good results. it is important to understand that the production of this product is made in California and an outside country. So we will probably have to make a benchmark analysis. We got to the conclusion that $4.50 it's a very, very competitive and to the shelf fruits in the area. But we think that it is very important to keep a standard quality in price and the good of the product.
And some recommendations that we can give is that dynamic prices are suggested in countries such as Cuba and Bolivia. Also, it is important to consider the tax part of the whole operation. Do not produce a cheap product as the market will resent. And to finish, hire expert consultants to manage the level and package part. Also, it's good to think of a good price and keep this price stable, because maybe other competitors will come and destroy the process of the company. And that's all of the conclusions and recommendations we got for this project. Thank you for watching. See you.